This morning we are catching up with the Superior Health Foundation. We have Megan Murphy, the CEO, joining us in the studio. How are you doing today, Megan?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Yes. So today we are talking about your fall grant cycle. And
Yes.
what is that exactly?
So we are accepting proposals for projects related to health in the Upper Peninsula. We are accepting them through July 9th, so the deadline is coming up pretty quickly. But we're looking for things that are related to behavioral health, substance use disorder services, maternal infant health, oral health, workforce development, fitness and wellness, and food access, things like that. So it's a pretty broad look at what's happening across the Upper Peninsula, but we are really hoping to fund some impactful programs and some larger systems-based work.
Very cool, yes. And so, I mean, are there any restrictions or anything when it comes to applying for a grant like this?
There are a few restrictions. We do not fund capital campaigns or major equipment purchases. We also don't fund vehicles, and then things like loans, litigation, some of those other things that we wouldn't necessarily want to get into as a philanthropic funder.
Right, yeah, so it goes right to whatever the program is working on as
Exactly.
a whole. So, yes. And so how much money is available for this?
So we have about $375,000 available for this cycle. We did about $325,000 in our last cycle in the spring. So we are really excited to have a pretty large amount of money to be able to put out into the community.
And when it comes to applying, how can people access that application?
They can go to our website at superiorhealthfoundation.org, and right there will be a link to our grants portal. Proposals are maxed out at $75,000, so you can ask for up to $75,000.
All right, yeah, and then another thing to touch on today is the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan Foundation's 2025
Yes.
Investing in Health of the Upper Peninsula program. What's that?
So we are collaborating with the Blue Cross Blue Shield Foundation of Michigan and the Michigan Health Endowment Fund to put out an RFP related to healthy aging in the Upper Peninsula, and we are really excited to be working with both of those partners. I think we'll have a pretty large amount of money that we'll be putting out. The total amount hasn't been fully decided yet, but we are accepting applications up to $50,000 for that. And with that, we're looking for things like caregiver support, access to care, health literacy, capacity building for those organizations serving older adults, and a couple of other areas as well.
Great, and like you mentioned, I know that the full total amount isn't out yet, but are details available for that? Are they
Yes.
coming up where people can find that?
Yep, you can find out more information on that request for proposals on the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan Foundation website.
Okay, and overall between the fall grants, grants like these programs, how does this help people, especially here in such a rural area like the Upper Peninsula?
So this is an opportunity for those organizations that are already serving these individuals to do more. And what we like to see is that there is a real investment in working with the people that the organizations are serving to kind of develop these programs and to make them successful. But ultimately, we want to see that health is being improved. And that can look like a couple of, many different ways. There are a lot of different ways that we're seeing organizations attack those issues. We've funded things recently related to Alzheimer's with the Alzheimer's Association of Michigan, and we are working with them to expand their reach into the Western Upper Peninsula. So they're doing programs related to caregivers for people with dementia, prevention programs, and then programs directly for those individuals with dementia. So it helps with reducing loneliness, it helps reduce isolation, it also helps inform and educate.
Is there anything else you'd like to add today, Megan?
I think that's it, but yeah.
Excellent, yes. So the fall grant cycle, those proposals are due by July 9th. We'll have all the information on our website, myupnow.com. Megan, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and we'll be right back with more My UP Mornings after the break.